baby. Hi everybody and welcome to the Gentleman's Talk. The dulcet tones of James Dean Littlejohn on this Reflection Sunday is here, excited, and ready to talk to you. Let me just crank this down a little bit while we get ourselves set up for the session. Not the sessions I'm used to. God damn, they were the days. Anyway, that's a perfect level for me. How the devil are you? How have you been this Easter break? I know some of you have had some time off. Some of you haven't had time off and probably need time off. But overall, I hope you've all had a brilliant Easter, an Easter week. If they say, it's that half-term period for a lot of parents. We're drawing to a close in that. And I think a lot of people are back to work tomorrow, back to school, and hopefully business as usual. BAU, if you like the acronyms. So here I am. I've had a good one, actually. I've had, like I said, I've done a couple of podcasts this week. Took a little bit of a break just in between, just to enjoy the quietness, actually. I'm going to lie to you. I was a bit sort of like I said, was a bit off last week. Wasn't quite fully on board, was a little bit negative in life, I genuinely, I was sort of cursing the country, if you like, not country, but, the country as a whole, United Kingdom. I was cursing the weather, making me feel depressed and shit, and I just wasn't in a great place. I forced my way through, managed to get some sort of rhythm back into my life, and then all of a sudden I just went, I feel really fucking good. I feel really fucking good. I don't have to stress or worry about anything. What the fuck is this feeling? This is a bit of an odd one. And what I did was I fucking rolled with it, because I literally, and the downside to rolling with your mood when you're in that type of place, although because it's quite a rarity to me, because obviously, the way my brain works, the way I function, and obviously with the ADHD and the PTSD, never really stopped much. So it's kind of, and if, as you probably know, it's ADHD is a bit of a crippler anyway, in the best of things. Keeps your mind going, keeps you very active. But it's nice. So I'm not used to, it's nice, to relax. But I've never really been used to that, because even when I've had time off, and anybody that really knows me, if you ask anyone that really knows me, they'll know that even in my time off, I don't have time off. I keep going. I just fucking go like a bit mental. And I go, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. Why am I not doing anything? And I just I never settle. I never just sit down and like switch my phone off, switch everything off and just fucking chill. I never do that. Even when I'm on holiday, like I said, I've been on holidays before, and my best friend will contest to that, in the fact that, every single day he was like, dude, do you want to go to the beach and just sit and chill on the beach? I was like, yeah, man, that sounds fucking great. And then we walk to the fucking beach and we sit down, and then within 15 minutes I'll be like, right, what are we doing, mate? Because I'm fucking bored now. And then we'd go, we'll go in the sea. So we'd go in the sea, and I'd be like, okay, I've done this for 15 minutes. I'm fucking bored now. And that's literally what it was like. So I think, do you know what? It's quite an odd one for a friendship to be. I mean, me and Kieran have been friends for best part. Like I said, we're encroaching on 30 years probably. Is it about 30 years? 10? No, it's about 28 years. So whatever it is, I think I'll have to work it out in my head. And I'm not great at maths, but we've been mates for such a long time, but we've never ever been on holiday together. We've never done anything. We've had weekends camping and stuff like that. Nothing fruity, just a fishing weekend. But we've kind of got to the point where we've never been away. So we did something, like I said, we did something for our 40th, and I think he genuinely saw a different side to me. Now, he's seen every single side to me. I'd love to hear his little verdict, actually, because he's seen every side of me now, and I think he really realised on that holiday how fucking batshit crazy I can be. Like, you could see I was getting anxious and I was getting bored. By midweek, I was like almost picking arguments. I remember picking an argument with this guy who was fucking smoking in a no smoking area. Now, we're on holiday, and this guy was fucking, I think he was French, and they're used to just smoking where the fuck they like. And I just literally looked at him. I was like, if you fucking like that cigarette, mate, I'm gonna fucking smash your face in something. And I went and complained and everything. I was like, no fucking smoking here. And people genuinely like, dude, you're on fucking holiday. I was like, I don't give a fuck, mate. Rules are rules. As if I follow fucking rules. Come on. But I was enforcing these fuckers because I was literally picking a fight. That's what it was. I was just so fucking like, I need to do something. And then when we went and did something, we did underwater caving. which was fucking amazing. But it was almost like, as again, we were constrained a little bit by our budgets. We didn't have, we weren't sort of flush, if you like. So we had to be cautious. It was just really a kind of get together. But there was so much I wanted to do. Jet skis. I was like, I'm going to go on the jet skis today. I never went on the fucking jet skis, and I'd never been on a jet ski. That's fucking crazy. I've been fucking on all sorts of crazy shit, and fucking super fucking bikes and all this. I've been on all these things. I've flown a fucking helicopter. I've flown a fucking Hercules. I've flown in a jet. I've driven a fucking tank, many tanks actually, and I've never fucking been on a jet ski, but I fucking really want to. And I was like dead set on going, and then went across and it was like, how much for fucking 15 minutes? You are literally having my fucking eyes out, mate. You've ripped my eyes out. I was like, don't piss in my pocket and tell me it's fucking raining, mate, okay? It's not going to fucking roll with me. So I never did it. But anyway, I think he saw a different side to me. Which was a little bit interesting, I think, for him from his perspective. And for once, I felt quite conscious as well, because I could see the signs. And I could see his personality was like, I just want to sit by the fucking pool, dude. I want to fucking drink. And then when I'm hot, I want to get in the pool. I want to cool down. I want to get back out the pool, and I want to sit down again. That's kind of where he's at. He's in that really fucking plateau place. Whereas I'm just fucking batshit crazy. Just fucking batshit crazy. So anyway, as I digressed into a little swan song there. But this week, I genuinely got to Wednesday, and I was like, right. And, something this will break nicely into today's topic, actually. But it was kind of, we'd got to that midweek point, and nobody was really talking. Everyone's on their little hollybobs. Everyone's having time off. But we've all kind of done that typical man thing where we've just gone, well, he hasn't said anything. He hasn't said anything. He's not saying anything. He's not saying anything. There's no fucking photos posted anywhere. We'll all just shut down. And we did, except for this time round, I genuinely accepted it for a little while, because it felt really nice to just be inside my own space, but not thinking. So it was almost like, for the first time, I could just shut off that noise, and it was it was a really big relief, and I'd never felt that before. And then I kind of got to Friday, and that was kind of my sort of like last sort of time, kind of really relaxing day, because then Saturday came, and then the expectation of knowing I'm going into work. I wanted to do a presentation because I'm learning this new technique on PowerPoint, because I'm a fucking geek. And I'm trying to liven up the presentations and do a couple of videos. I've got some really big plans for work next year. Or this year. I say next year because it's the next financial year, not the actual year, because I appreciate we're in April. So, it's kind of, I've got loads of stuff going from ahead. So I sat down last night, and I was still kind of in that relaxed mood, if you like. I was still kind of relaxed, but at the same time, I literally felt the cogs in my fucking head. It's almost like, all of a sudden, I went from being relaxed, not fucking caring, not texting anyone, not doing anything. I sat on my fucking, I went from the bed downstairs, and the only time I moved from the sofa was either to walk the dog 3 times. It's 3 walks a day. So that was like fucking 15 minutes. And then bed. I didn't go anywhere. I literally, I even had a fucking 2-litre bottle of water, so I didn't have to get up because I was trying to be healthy. Before I cracked into a litre bottle of gin. Because I've been drinking 5 days straight, and I'm fucking paying for it now. But yeah, so I just really fully relaxed. I fully switched off and just didn't give 2 fucks. But then I could feel the cogs kicking in. Yesterday, I could literally go, right, okay, I need to do this presentation. And I sat down doing this presentation at fucking 8 o'clock in the evening. I was like, I'll just do this. And I'd already had a couple of gins. I haven't seen the presentation sober, to put it that way, because I got to midnight and I was really impressed with it, but I was fucking bollocksed. I mean, literally bollocksed. I sent a fucking 10-minute video to my mum and dad, telling them to fucking, it was all meant in joviality, but I put it in thing like, stop picking on dad, yes mum, we've seen that, fucking dad, stop fucking worrying. I literally gave them the full download of what I fucking thought, like, you fucking sort your shit out, it was like, that was the place I was at, mate. So, I was in bed, and then I was in bed, and then I woke up this morning, and I was like, fuck, I've got a really busy day. I was doing my second job this morning, so I was fucking straight into work at 7 o'clock, 4-7. Smashing out this the driving range and fucking, getting all the fucking, doing the old ball collection and all that sort of stuff, which was fucking hilariously funny. It doesn't matter. I love that. It's not even a job. I don't call it a job. The job factor is I have to drive there. But when I'm there, it's the only fucking job that I've ever had where I don't actually have to think much. And I just go there and just talk to people, have fun. I'm being paid to exercise. And that's why I do it, because it's a really, really... sort of like it's a physical job, and it's nice to be back into that. I mean, I've come back today, so I'm going to quickly break down a bit of my reflection day. And yeah, so I woke up this morning, did fucking 3 hours, came straight back after work, and then jumped in the car with my rents, my parents, and my missus, and we drove up to see my brother. So absolutely fantastic. My brother's just settled into a fucking beautiful little house. He's just managed to upgrade a little bit in his house he's still renting, which is the downside to today's market, but he's got himself a nice little fucking gem. It is a nice little gem, big open space, and he's done himself proud there, mate. He really has, and hopefully he'll listen to this, and yeah, I'm very proud of him. Went to see him today, and it was really, really nice to see where my brother's been. He's been in some dark places as well, and men, he don't really talk about it. He's a little bit of one of those people that fucking smashes his head in the fucking sand and hopes when he pulls his fucking head up, everything's fucking, hunky-dory and everyone's fucking happy as Larry. A bit like my dad. I'm not like that. I hit things head on, and if you're being a knob, I'll say you're being a fucking knob. But he's been in some dark places, and to see him slowly, getting himself back on his feet, getting back into a routine, socialising a bit more. His house is now, you could feel the air in it. You could feel, not air, it felt airy. You could feel the comfort, it was nice. It felt warm. It felt warm, very family-fied, and it's beautiful. When you walk into a house and you instantly feel comfortable. Because you can go into some houses and they're a little bit, I'm not going to sit down. You can go into some houses and go, fucking hell, I'm not going to sit down. It's fucking hell, this is a bit sharp in here, mate, bit too clinical, and that's where you kind of come to, you get that boundary, and I find it's really, really nice, and I walked in today, beautiful job, garden, beautiful job, and then we went down to see his allotment, because he's a bit of a bit like me, but he's I say he's a bit like me. Green-fingered I am, to a sense, as in I like fucking grass. I like that's about it. And green things, I don't like growing things to eat it or for it to die. Like, I don't like flowers because they come up and then like, hey, look at me, fucking pretty, die. I'm like, I can't deal with the dead bit, mate. And then I almost get to the point where I'm like, I don't know what it is. Psychologically, I go, oh, I'm gonna bin it now. He's fucking dead, and I do. And I've done that with like 3 plants. I see them dead, and I'm like, he probably could survive if I just carried on going and put him into the right place and condition. Nah, he's fucking done, mate. He died on me, so he's fucking dead to me. And I'm a bit, so that's why I know I can nurture green things, because they just fucking grow, and you don't, you just have to trim bushes back and shit like that. Love trimming a bit of bush. We all love a bit of bush. Anyway, don't go down that rabbit hole, mate. Wee. So he's done well. And anyway, he's a little bit more green-fingered in the sense he fucking loves gardening. I went down, chives. He's got mint, fucking lemon mint, normal mint, fucking chives, fucking thyme, potatoes, fucking strawberries. I'm not going to break into all of it. Radish, but you can get the picture. This guy's fucking on it, like a carb on it. And you can see he's got the OCD. The OCD element of the family, because we're both, we're all raised in the military, and that's one, I think, a bit of a massive negative that you pull back from your years in the military service, is your OCD. It's instilled into you. It's embedded. It's ingrained into you. You cannot stop it. It's fucking there. But he's taken it. He's got the new extreme. Like, he's like fucking steaming his fucking stuff. But you can see that in how meticulous he is with his fucking, his yard, his allotment area, I can't remember what they call it, he did say, but his allotment, his little bit, perfectly straight, beautiful, lovely. Anyway, it's good to see him. It's good to see his positive face today. That was the whole element of that. It's good to see his beautiful face, good to see him happy, good to see him perking up, and it's nice to be like that. Me and my brother, we're fairly close anyway. As far as siblings normally go, so we're fairly close in the sense we do open up a little bit, but we also, we at the same time we do bury shit as well. It's one of those things. But I tend to know when he's not feeling great, and vice versa for me and him. So it's really nice to see him come up. Anyway, so yeah, and then I came back and then fucking bashed. Literally sat down for half an hour after travelling back from a beautiful time with him. Sat down and fucking I was back to work again. And I was there till 8. I rushed home, walked the dog, rammed some food down my throat, and here I am. Here I am. I'm fucking here chatting. I'm chatting shit. Chat shit, get banged. So here I am, mate. So yeah, reflection time. And I've got, do you know what? I'm going to reinvigorate something. I've done many podcasts. You know that. You're listening. And for me, I need to talk about this again because it seems to have dropped off the radar. And it's dropped off the radar even in my own little fucking group. And if it's dropped off in my own little group where they listen to me fucking weekly talk this shit, then what the fuck's going to happen outside to people that aren't managing it to our level? And I wouldn't even say we're an acceptable level. I'd say we're probably, we're dropping off. We're not keying. We're not dialed in yet. So for us, I think it's kind of, I need to reinvigorate it. And it's the title. It's the title. Communication is the key. And the reason I'm bringing this up today, I'm just gonna have a little sip because my mouth's going a bit dry because I've been running around like a Looney Tune. And it's fucking water as well. This healthy shit's all about. But James, you drank 2 litres of fucking gin last week on your time off. Communication. Why am I talking about communication? Why am I reinvigorating? I think it always needs reinvigorating. It's one of those things we have to keep working. So sometimes it's worth talking about, previous things. It really is because, we need to reinvigorate. We need to keep, because if you lose track, you need to dial it back in. It's almost like in work, we call the management aids and things like that. So it's almost like a management aid for your life. Every now and then, it's worth talking about because maybe you've dropped off the radar. I certainly have. But today, the reason I say communication, and because communication to me today, from a friend of mine who has been, and I will say because he is going to listen to this, has been far from an acceptable standard of talking to his friends. He knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, I heard from him today, and he's worth mentioning because he is a fucking good friend, and that's the Bill Star. He's been a bit silent. I've done podcasts with him, so he's normally on point, but he's been a bit silent for the last couple of months, I'd say. But I heard from him today, and he spoke to me and was like, fucking how's thing going? Are we getting a fucking poddy tonight? I was like, I am going to dial in a poddy because I've missed the last 2 Sundays and I'm dedicated. And anyway, he spoke to me. He said, I need to give you some feedback. And he said, but I know you don't take feedback very well. And I went, well, depends on what it is, mate, but the way I work it now is just fucking rip the plaster off. I mean, as you all probably know, or maybe you don't know actually, I suffer from, is it a thing? Because I'm reading somewhere that it's not such a thing, RSD, rejection sensitive disorder. And I don't say I suffer from it, but I say it's a part of my mental health. It's a part of the ADHD. I talk about it in my premium podcast. I'm going to plug it, so fucking jump across there. I've got my premium podcast talking about ADHD, where I'm learning about it. But one of the topics is rejection sensitive disorder. And I do suffer from it because I know what I'm like. I know how I take things, and I don't take criticism or feedback, negative feedback, very well at all. I really don't. And even if I smile and wave, I know I don't. But today, I took it on well. I mean, really, but the communication he gave me was a really, really constructive bit of feedback. And it was about the way, and it was feedback about my mental health, and it was helping me to see things differently. Now, if you recall, a couple of podcasts ago, probably when I said to him, I did respond to him actually. I did say to him, I was in a negative space when I said this certain aspect. But the reason I want to reinvigorate it, I want to fucking light that fire under the pit of it and start fucking boiling that water, is because I did look at it differently. And this is, for me, this is exactly what mental health's about. So I spoke to you in a podcast a little while ago, a few days ago. I think it's the last 2 or 3, one of the last 2 or 3 I've done. And I spoke about how I'm doing artwork, and I was really, really disappointed that, it's almost like I almost delivered it from, now I can think in a different mindset. I almost delivered it in a bit of an arrogant way, as in like, I know my shit is good. Okay, I know, and I don't, I know what I do is fucking good because I'm meticulous and I fucking know what I'm doing in that sense, and I love producing a good quality product. So I'm invested, but I'm very biased. And I said a certain comment. I said about how it's quite frustrating for me on social media, because I was talking about social media. I was saying how nobody was interested when I say, I say nobody. Limited amount of people at the time were interested when I said, here's my new bit of artwork, what do you think, and all this sort of stuff. And you ask a couple of questions, try to get a little bit of engagement, noticing I was very, very little on the followers. So most of my followers will be either close friends or people that are bots, probably clicking fucking, I'm going to follow this guy. So you don't get much feedback. And then I mentioned how I put one on for free, and I was a bit disheartened, I said, and a bit upset that people are willing to like, comment and share when it offers something for free, but they don't want to fucking pay for it. And that's how I looked at it. Very selfish, very narrow-minded. And he put me in the right place. And to be fair, I had reflected on that a little bit after the last couple of days, but not really given it as much thought as I did today after he gave me my feedback. And he said, James, you're looking at it the wrong way, mate. He said, you're looking at it from a perspective that you want people to hand you money. Yes, your product is worth it, but you should be humbled and happy that so many people want your artwork for free if they can, because we're in a cost of living crisis. We've got fucking nurses striking. There's fucking, trains are striking. Everybody's fucking striking because we're not getting paid enough, James. And £130 for a piece of artwork, irrelevant of what your feeling is about it, because you're emotionally invested in creating this, not everybody will have that emotional attachment as what you've got. They might see its worth, but is it something they're going to prioritise in their life at the moment when we've got fucking bills going through the fucking roof and more people in food banks? And I never really thought about it like that. I did think about it, but I was very narrow-minded. And I said to him, yeah, I get what you're saying, and I don't look at that as negative feedback at all. That's me having to reinvigorate this. And I said, you're right. I should be humbled that people want a piece of my artwork. I know my auntie was like, I definitely want another piece. But of course, it is the costability. It is the cost, isn't it? I get that. It was nice because that feedback, that communication that came to me was invaluable, because not only had it underpinned that I was looking at it in the wrong way, but my reaction, my reaction was unjustified, because I looked at it from a very, very one-sided, narrow perspective. And the whole thing I'm talking about here is rightly so. We're trying to get away from this narrow-minded focus. We're trying to open up our field of view. Too many human beings nowadays are in one fucking lane with blinkers on, if you know what blinkers are, and I don't mean blinkers as in, I think what the American call fucking indicators. Blinkers, I think they call them, but I don't mean blinkers. I'm talking about the ones with a horse where you can literally see fucking forward and that's it. So it's almost like all human beings have adopted this principle where we're going to bang our fucking blinkers on. I'm in my fucking lane. I don't give a shit about everybody else. I'm going to maneuver. And if I want to change lanes, I'm going to change lanes without looking. And I'm not going to fucking indicate. I'm just going to change lanes. That is how every fucking human being is going at the moment. Everybody. Why? Because majority of us are fucking skint. Even people like, that are in the middle class, if you like, although there isn't really a middle class now. But even those where they should be sat in the middle class, where they're not millionaires, but they should be comfortable, aren't comfortable. And there's a divide. You're either rich or poor now. So there's such a fucking divide. So we're going through all this, these problems, and everybody is very selfish at the moment because everybody wants to survive. It's almost like we're all in survival mode. The only people I feel that are having a fucking good time at the moment are probably the older, and this is true, this is factual as well, is the older generation, the ones that are close to retirement or in retirement, because they're like, fucking brilliant, mate, this is fucking brilliant. No one can afford to go away. We can afford to go away because we're at pensionable stage and we've worked our fucking time, if you've got a pension, or you've got a disposable income because everything's fucking paid off and you're just paying your normal bills. So you're going on holiday and you're not putting up with the ruffians and the riffraffs and the middle, the middle-aged people, so, and the young uns. So, I get it, but everybody's selfish. And the problem is we all look at life sometimes like that. And I think mental health gives us this. And the reason I wanted to mention this little aspect was because it was a very valid point. He told me that I was doing something wrong. Now, the problem with mental health is that was my mindset at the time. And this is real time, live, not synopsis, sort of overview, if you like, actually, an overview of mental health. I was in the wrong mood at the wrong time, and I delivered it from a very narrow-minded, blinkers-on focus point to the world. And then a couple of days later, I was like, yeah, man, I get what you're fucking saying, bud. Yeah, of course, man, of course. I should be humbled that people want my art to have it up in their bars and stuff, and if they want it, but they can't afford it at the moment, but they honor the quality of it. So I was like, yeah, I never thought about that. But how many fucking times do we do that in mental health? How many times you go into work and you're like, I shouldn't be in work because I'm not in the right fucking mood mentally, and then you say something that is horrible, or it's the wrong place, wrong time. You get yourself in trouble. You cause drama because you're not in the right mindset, because we're not managing our mental health. And at the time, I wasn't. I was out of routine. I was fucking like, I didn't know what was going on in front of me, and I just shut down. I just become a bit of a negative person, which then resulted in me talking to you about this negative view. So actively going out there and going, yeah, fucking, why don't you buy my shit, man? Fuck. And do you know what I mean? And that right there, that little snippet, that little part of my life, that 1 hour, not even 1 hour, because it was probably 15 minutes talking about it, that 15 minutes of my life made that judgment call at the time was the wrong judgment call, but that could have affected and had a massive knock-on effect on reputationally, personally, everything. But how many times do we do that? How many times do we go into work, or we go into a relationship, or we come home to our partners and we sit there and we argue because our mental health isn't very good, or we're not feeling it? And what we're not doing as men is we're not communicating that. So the one thing I fucking do, and I am literally like, I am fucking all over this, and the more I do it, the more I'm understanding myself as well, is I walk in, and if I'm not in a great place, I say to everybody, right, guys, my family, because they got to put up with me for the day. I say, guys, I'm not feeling it today. I'm fucking tired. My head's all over. I'm really fucking negative, and I don't want to shout at anybody, and I don't want to have a fucking bad time. I'll just be in and out. If you need me, we'll go out and chill out, but I'm not very talkative. Now, I open up about that. Now, some people might go, what the fuck? What are you doing, mate? Fucking man up. Fucking hell, mate. No. Because I'm explaining the situation so that people don't put me into... So they're a bit more conscious about my mood. Now, I'm not asking them to make any changes around me. I'm not asking them to tiptoe around me. But what I'm asking for is a little bit of peace and quiet. If you want to act like fucking knobheads, go and act like knobheads outside. Or act like knobheads upstairs. Do whatever you got to do. Just don't do it physically around me at the moment, because I don't want to get upset. And then... I'm conscious, and as soon as I come out of that mood, I'm like, yeah, guys, sorry, but thanks. I really, really appreciated you standing by me and looking after me. Fucking sorry, thank you very much. Let's have a good day. Now, what I've done there is I've had no arguments. I've not fucking said anything really negative that's allowed my mental health to fuck up a relationship or a friendship, and I've actively told everybody I stay out of the way a little bit, so I do that actively because I think it's fair. I don't want to I don't want to fuck the whole house up, because I just stay out the way. I just do bits and bobs. What I don't do is I don't come in and go fucking rah. I just go, because nothing's happening. Everyone's just doing normal, as they say. We'll have good conversations, but everybody's aware of it. And that is communication. We don't do that. So how many times do we come home, or we go into work and we've had an argument at home and we take it into work, or we've had an argument in work and we come home and we fucking download it to our partners, and then that turns into a, or even you don't download and you come in and they're like, oh, darling, what can you do this? And you're like, fucking hell, you fucking bitch. And then they think you're an absolute fucking arsehole. This is where men get this massive fucking reputation as being fucking aggressive arseholes, because when we bottle shit up. So a lot of the times it isn't a one-day event for us. I guarantee it. Like the thing, and I've worked with a lot of women, but I've seen with women that if something upsets them on that day, they're normally quite emotional about it pretty quick. So you do get an emphasis that you've genuinely upset them. With a man, you won't get that. And I know for a fact that most men that I've worked with, and I've worked in the Royal Air Force, I've worked alongside a lot of men. For me, men bottle it up, and they'll take shit, and they'll take shit, and they'll take shit, and then all of a sudden, fucking bosh, it erupts. They fucking spew their shit out everywhere. Somebody gets fucking hurt, somebody gets fucking fired, or they don't do it in work because of the position they are, and they know they can't lose their fucking job, so they just have to keep sucking it up, so they go home and take it out on their family. So instead of coming in through the door and going, do you know what, darling? I'm getting fucking bullied at work. Or, you know what, darling, I'm getting put under a lot of pressure at work. This guy's doing a fucking shit job. I'm having to pick up his pieces. It's really fucking grinding me down. Now, what you're doing is you're opening a conversation then to hopefully, as a supportive partner, you would expect a supportive partner, because you're being open about your emotions, if you like. And I'm not talking about weepy, cry. I'm talking about communication. You're opening up. And you're acknowledging, actually, do you know what? I'm having a bit of a fucking tough time. Now, they'll compensate naturally because they don't want to see you in pain. Nobody wants to see, not nobody, most people don't want to see another human being in pain. Especially a partner. I don't want to go in after I've had an argument, or I've been fucking raging because somebody's got their music slightly too loud, or like my youngest daughter when she's on fucking TikTok and she's scrolling through reels, and she goes to this certain song that produces a certain clip, and then she watches that over and over, so it's the same song for fucking 10 seconds, and I go, what the fucking hell are you doing? And it doesn't just stop there, it erupts. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? The fucking phone's out of her, and I just go, what I could have done was just gone, darling, you wouldn't mind fucking turning that down? That's a little bit irritating. And they look at you and go, well, I don't really get it. Oh, no, because you're focused on it. But for me, that's quite an irritating as an outsider not seeing the fucking video. And if you communicate like that, in any of your relationship, friendships or anything, if you just communicate that there's a problem there, I mean, I've done it. I've fallen out. Like I say, I fell out with, I didn't fall out. I did fall out to a degree. And I lost a friendship last year with my good friend Nevs. I lost a friendship because of something he said to me. And now I was open about it and said what had happened, and I said, look, mate, you've done this, and this, and I'm just not comfortable, mate, with how that's gone. And unfortunately, the reaction from another man came as, well, I didn't mean it that way. So this sounds like a you problem. But I was like, but the problem was, I spoke to a lot of other people about the problem, and they were like, no, mate, you're fucking 100% in the right place. And that's not against him, but that just goes to show, I was trying to be diplomatic and open and honest, and it wasn't received. That's fine. But we do that. But at the same time, I've been open and honest. I've laid it on the table about what is wrong with me, what is wrong with this fucking friendship, what's happened. And as I know, as you talk about it, it does sound a bit fucking fluffy, but it's not fluffy. It's just... the whole basis is communication. A lot of the problems that we have in life is through lack of communication. If you go into work, have you told your colleagues that he's annoying you? Have you told your boss that you're not fucking comfortable with that? If you haven't, have you gone through the chain of all of these stresses that we get in life? A lot of it can be literally kiboshed with just a little bit of communication. And if you're not getting the support from those people, once you open up, you're in the wrong setting. You're in the wrong friendship. You're in the wrong relationship. And that's rightly so. That's why I don't talk to my mate Nevs anymore at the time, because he didn't acknowledge what he'd done. And I was like, okay, well, we can't move past this then, mate, because that's how I feel. So we just moved on. That's it. Job done. There's no hard feelings. But relationships, if you go in and speak to your missus and say, I need a bit of support, or, don't get off my back a little bit, you fucking give me a lot of shit, but this is going on, then and if you don't get the proper reception and a proper supportive comment back, you're in the wrong fucking relationship, I'm sorry to say. But we should be with people that are supporting us and there for us when we need them. And you should be able to openly communicate your emotions and feelings without having to get into an argument, without letting it build up to the point where you erupt and start fucking smashing shit, because most men turn to anger. You don't get to a point, even if you're a woman and you're bottling things up and you decide that that's your nature. Like I said, not everyone shows emotion straight away. A lot of them do bottle up. And then the next thing you know, you're fucking lashing out and kicking fuck out of people. Because it isn't just men that do that. There's a lot of women out there. So, but this is all probably down to communication. And this is what this was. So my good man, I will mention to Bilster because I know he's been feeling a little bit left out. he absolutely gave me the right feedback. Now, because he knew that I don't take feedback very well, he's a bit cautious how he delivered, but I said to him straight away, no, mate, you had a valid point. And it's a good topic to talk about, because that's how I perceived my life at the time. But the reality of it was, 2 days later, it wasn't like that. And I didn't look at it through the proper perspective. What he did there was did what a friend should do and communicated that to me. And I've had it from all of my friends. I've had it from Nelster. I've had it from Kieran. They've all given me a bit of feedback and said, yeah, good podcast. Or that was a bit slow, mate. Or that was a bit fucking dry, mate, you know. And all of the time, that's the bonus. That's communication. It can save relationships. It can save friendships. At the same time, it might not save them, but it will enlighten you to know you're in the wrong setting. And this could put fundamentally the basics or the foundation of why you're not in a great place. Because you're not getting support. You're not getting the support you need. You know you're not able to communicate properly. We know that you go into work and sometimes that you're not going to get a fully receptive comment, especially if you're being bullied by a boss who's just got a really fucking shit style of leadership, i.e. doesn't have any leadership qualities. So a lot of this can't be happened, but it can't be helped. But the problem, the beauty of it is, if you're going home and talking to a friend or a partner about what's happening at work, you're going to get an independent view of your situation. And they're going to tell you probably what you already know, just don't want to hear it. And they'll probably say, mate, you've got a couple of options. You either fucking go to HR and put it as a formal complaint for bullying and go through the whole fucking process of that. That's probably about a year at best, because they're snowed under with all the fucking bullying accusations. Or you've got an alternative that you look for another role, another job, and you just knuckle down. And you say that isn't easy, but I beg to differ, because there's a lot of employment out there. A lot of employment out there. So it just takes a little bit of work. Everything in life worth having takes a little bit of work. You don't get it for free. I can tell you that for a fucking fact. So yeah, communication is a key. And that breaks me into a little bit actually about, you know, why this is so important. Like I said, we've got this little positive vibe group. So the reason I'm going to mention this, because all three of the positive vibers that I talk to on a daily basis are my friends, and they will listen to this. We've tailed off. And the reason I want to reinvigorate communication is because we're all just ignoring each other. We're all not talking. Everything in the whole positive vibe became a routine, mundane, boring thing. It was, hi guys, hope you have a good day. And it got to the point where we were leaving fucking 10-second messages just to fucking get it done and dusted. We want quality over quantity. And the problem is, this is where we need to evolve, because we've dropped off, and I talk about this shit weekly with them. I talk about this all the time. Mental health, the importance of opening up, the importance of being there for your friends, the importance of, you know, having fun. But at the same time, I absolutely acknowledge you get out what you put in. If you're not getting out what you put in, and for me, I left a couple of messages for them last week and nothing was given back. So for me, that's the... You need to do your fucking bit now, guys. And this is the important. You might have friends, and the reason I'm saying this is because they will listen to this and they'll probably give me some shit and I'll tell them to fucking wind it in. Let's do it together. Because we all need each other. We're a little friendship group. We do need each other. As much as you can say, it shouldn't become when you want them, or I'll reach in when I fucking feel like it. No, you don't. You've got to make the effort. And that's the importance of having good friends. Because... for me, it's like, one of the comments from the guys this morning were, oh yeah, but you know, Kieran's our main lead, because he leaves a message every day. He said, oh, but he's on holiday. I was like, well, he's been talking to me, mate. It's because what the quality in our group would disappeared. We were just, there was nothing there. It was like, what the fuck's this? It was just one of those fucking, like, you know, those groups that just get spammed every now and then. Do you know what I mean? And that's the importance, that's the quality. But there's not, it's as always, it's worth saving. Communication is the key. They're going to listen to this. I'm using it as my medium. But you might have your friends where you go, guys, fucking hell, mate, you're not making much of an effort here. Or let's fucking spark it up. Maybe you've noticed it's in the first steps and you need to take those next steps to go, guys, we need to get together. Let's go do this. Play some fucking golf. Let's go to a fucking pub. Let's go to the fucking cinema. Let's do something just to get us out having a bit of banter, just to keep that alive, keep that going. Make the effort, organise that shit. And that's the impressive bit. That's the bit that we need to keep going. Otherwise, we will do what we all do as men. and we'll just fucking shrivel up, go into our little world, and then we get to the point where we end up stressed, depressed, and then, this is where our statistic goes, guys. Come on. Fuck. It's where our statistics are so high. It's a no-brainer. You've got to make the effort. All of this is about accountability for yourself and accountability for everybody, really. Everyone that's in your little group. You've got to make that effort because we all need it. We're in fucking hard times as well, The whole world's in hard times at the moment. We need this to keep going. Otherwise, you get to the point where you start questioning, what the fuck is the point? You start putting on weight. You don't get the exercise you should be getting. You start overeating. You do what I did for the last fucking 5 days and drink 2 litres of gin. You just go all in. But that's communication. And we're doing it, but we're not doing it as the group. We're not doing, you know what I mean? But we need it. Everybody needs that communication factor. And everybody should be able to be open and honest. If you've nurtured the right people around you, you should be able to be open and honest and go, let's fucking square this way. Let's fucking do this. Sorry, let's go. Fucking line in the sand. You should be able to do that. You should be able to challenge any of your friendships and relationships. You should be able to be open, honest, and be able to communicate properly. Communication is the fucking key. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to wrap it up there because I need to wind down myself, my little bit of meditation after this. Need to wind down a little bit just because I've got a big week ahead of me. Got a couple of presentations, one in front of 20, I think, and one in front of a couple of 100 this week. So, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to definitely test my anxiety, but I'm here to challenge myself. I'm told you I want to challenge myself. I've been a busy fucking beaver. I'm investing in my life at the moment very, very, very hard, and I'm hopefully getting close to where I might see the fruits of my labour, as they say. So I don't know when. I'm just hoping that there's got to be something that pops up. It's got to be something. A fucking wet fish has got to slap me in the fucking bonce. But yeah, so, I want to give a massive shout out as well. I've got some new listeners from South Africa. I'm fucking well impressed. I've got some, in fact, let me just log in. I've got this app on Podbean when I upload on Podbean. I need to move close to the mic because Nelston moans at me. He says, "Oh, fucking I can't hear, mate." I'm like, "Shut up, you know." You're right. I'm talking away. Right, so I'm going to stats, mate, for the gentleman's talk. This is like proper impressive. 3,292 downloads. That's big for me. I love that. Not that I'm about stats, but these stats I am interested in. So I've got people listening, and I just want to say welcome. And I really hope that you're loving the content. I've had South Africa, United States, Australia, Syrian Arab Republic has been downloaded, Hong Kong, Germany, Ethiopia, and Indonesia. Fucking love it. I'm little old me in my little wooden old shack in fucking Salisbury, Wiltshire is here talking to you, to people around the world. I love it. And I really do hope that I'm giving you some sort of content to hopefully challenge your life. Get yourself out there, get yourself up there, pick yourself up and pat down the back, scrub down the sides, and let's fucking challenge them. We're getting to lovely weather as well. The sun is starting to come out a little bit more. The weather is certainly rising. It just brings on happy spirits. Already people are talking about barbecues today, and that just makes me fucking happy. I've got to just basically knuckle down with my diet so that I can get to summer and be somewhere where I can fucking... Well, I say diet. I was doing really well on the fasting, and it literally just... When I relaxed, I just went, fuck it. I didn't even eat much. I just drank, and I feel the weight on my belly. I'm like... Whereas last week, it's almost like I've bloated out, like double. It's almost like I've fucking gone from losing an inch to putting on 10. But it's fucking, I love doing it. I'm enjoying doing it. I'm going to get back into it tomorrow, back into my fast. So, just fucking hitting it strong, hitting it hard. And then, I'm looking forward to the season. So thanks for listening to me. I hope you have a smashing week. Billster, really good to fucking hear from you. Hopefully we'll lock in a poddy, this week, a little dual one. So thank you for reaching out. Really appreciate that. And Nelster, as always, I'm going to a little shout out. Nelster, fucking love it. I hope you're well. Hope you're well, buddy. Kieran, hope you enjoyed your holiday. Looking forward to catch up this week. Luke as well. Mark. There's so many people. My brother, my dad. There's so many people I know that listen to this that are just absolutely fat. And everybody else as well. Hi, welcome, and thank you. Thank you for being part of this journey. And hopefully I'm going to inspire you to do what you need to do. So thanks for listening. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Love you all millions, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care now.